perhaps I can answer one of your questions also.
Can I say one more
Yeah,
thing?
please.
And so it seems like when you say the phrase "I am that," and that pointing is pointing to something beyond the mind, beyond what I can conceive of objectively, and that's kind of what I'm saying. I'm saying I get it. I get that my mind is not the universe. I get that there is stuff beyond my mind. I get that the I am that part. And so I'm not that concerned. I don't want to come back and try to train my mind that it can't grasp that. I mean, I'm okay. I get that it's beyond my thinking.
Wonderful. So you see, you said another axiomatic statement almost. It is beyond the mind. Mind cannot reach us. So as long as we keep sitting here as Ramesam, as Mr. So and so, Miss so and so, this cannot be reached. That self identity has to be demolished. So Advaita is in fact a knowledge of unlearning whatever expertise, whatever mental accumulated experience we have gained, that has to be totally deconstructed. See, in the traditional purposeful knowledge, whatever I gain, like say chemistry, if I study and learn chemistry, I become a chemist. If I learn carpentry, I become a carpenter. I don't become chemistry myself by learning chemistry. I don't become physics myself by learning physics. I become a physicist. But in this knowledge, you become that. By learning this knowledge, I becomes Brahman. So the limits you are illusionary, in an illusory way, placing yourself on, that is something mind cannot reach and all that, that itself goes away. Those walls are broken. You become that. So this is another basic difference between the purposeful gaining of knowledge and this knowledge about consciousness or thought. I have not answered your. I don't see brightness still. Yeah, let us have another go. Yeah.
So where I go when you say all this, Ramesam, is when I have the awareness and the wisdom of Brahman and understand that, then I am no longer limited to the lack of knowledge, because it's all present. If there's no duality and it's all one, then that takes me to expand my awareness of possibility. And so it's not about the action of whether I'm a chemist or a physicist or a mathematician or whatever, but then I have access to all knowledge and wisdom.
Not necessarily. The difference comes like this. Yes, John. The difference comes like this. You see, this accumulative bodily knowledge of chemistry, physics, astronomy, whatever you say, is still limited to the realms of mind. Mind has the storage mechanism there. The storage drive is within the mind, whereas this knowledge, mind has nothing to do at all. You surpass the mind.
Well, that's where we disagree.
Because if you confine it to the mind, it becomes another textbook knowledge.
But I'm talking beyond textbook knowledge.
Beyond the textbook knowledge, still it will be confined to the mind only,
Yeah.
a memory device.
And if we're talking non-duality,
Yes.
then there's only one mind.
No, you see, if my mind becomes one with your mind, that's just emotional statements. Minds are also different. They are as much objects as the body source or the table, chair, or mind is also.
Where mind is?
Not me?
I can tell you where brain is.
Right.
I can tell you where heart is.
Right.
If we're talking object in mind, where is mind? Scientifically, there is no identity for where mind is, but we all, scientifically, they've come to a realization that there is such a thing as mind. But identifying where it is as ineffable as identifying, you know, this which is beyond our awareness.
Oh, you see, if you are talking from neuroscience base, I admit what you say, but then it also depends upon how we define mind. If mind is defined as a bunch of thoughts put together, as the present day neuroscience does it, mind is not different from the activity of brain. So, one definition of mind is what brain does is mind. In fact, today, as on today, scientists have been able to map your thoughts and even say what those thoughts are. If you are thinking of a car or thinking of a river or a tree, they could map. Of course, these are all still laboratory experimental level. It's not that mind reading has become so perfect. In fact, this paper was published just a few weeks ago, couple of weeks ago. You can map your thoughts, that means you are thinking, and they can tell what you are thinking about. Of course, there is a computer interface and all that in between. Let us not get into the detail of it, but in essence, your thoughts are your mind, and mind can be seen, even though you may not be able to put a finger and say this is the spot where it is coming from. But as a network of neuronal pulsing, you can identify and know. Then another thing also has been achieved neuroscientifically. Suppose I to press with this left thumb or the right thumb a switch. Okay. If I am putting it into an fMRI, magnetic resonance MRI, fMRI, magnetic resonance imaging, you know all that. If I am kept in it and I am asked to press either this or that, my brain kicks up action of deciding left or right thumb at least 7 seconds earlier than even my conscious awareness to decide left or right thumb. So, this mind working in the brain, that also has been able, when scientists have been able to map it and tell you that you are going to what you are going to decide, whether left or right thumb, 7 seconds before you yourself are aware of it. So, fairly neuroscience has an idea of what mind is. So, mind is essentially the storehouse of all the information which you acquire, whereas this Brahman information is not to be acquired and stored. You have to live in it all the time, every.